Can I go first, please?
Nathan is there. You can go.
Thank you very much, Ashfaq. Jake, after the game, I looked at a few comments from the public, and the general consensus was around the record and the monkey fun off your back. Jake, now I want to take it back to the after the Stormers game where you mentioned the Cape media and the hype around the record. You're probably happy now the light can be dimmed now on the record and more focus can be on your own home record.
Yes, that's right.
Is that it?
That's it. I mean, I don't know what more you want me to say, my friend. You guys in the media there, you the guys that asked me the question about after the record and the monkey, and now.
Thanks, Nathan. Ashwak?
Thanks, Lunga. Jake, just in terms of the composure shown by the guys, you said before the game that you feel the Bulls haven't played the best rugby ever against the Stormers over the years. Do you think that tonight was that case? And also going forward now that it's the kind of composure that you still play your game even in the high pressure situations, especially with Champions Cup also coming up?
Exactly, Ashok. That's not just a lesson for the Stormers. I think when you're playing against a good team, and they are a good team, as I said, they've played in 2 finals, so they've got all that mileage under their belts. And the way we, 19-15 and looked like the game could get away from us again. I mean, to win the second half 21-7 with the reserves we put on, obviously, is something that we must be happier with, and we must obviously take a lot of confidence out of.
Ashwak, you want to sneak in another one?
Any injuries, Jake, or guys coming back for the next game?
No, happy. No injuries. And obviously, Ulrich Lowe, I mean, he sat out this week. He should be available for when we play again.
Cool. Thanks, Ashfaq. Caleb?
Yeah, Jake, it's not entirely related to the game, but I remember last year a lot of talk was on your youngsters and the general health within the rugby at the Bulls and in South Africa in general, where you had less test match experienced players. Where do you think we are in terms of the Bulls, but also on a national scale? You've got guys like Marcel Coetzee coming back, Willie Leroux, and on the other side of the team, you've got the Trevors of this world and the Andres of this world coming back, playing 3 or 2 competitions a year. Where are you with that in terms of your long-term plan? Because you've obviously spoken a lot about that considering the context of today.
So we're not where we want to be. We're not. I mean, I can only talk from the Bulls' point of view, and I still think to be dominant, and I'm talking about really dominant in all comps, you're going to have to get more depth in your squads, and I'm sure it's the same for everybody, but I can't talk for them. And getting those guys back is exactly what I want to hear. When Trevor wants to come back, and Andre wants to come back, and Willie's now come back, and Will Carlos come back. I've been beating that drum since I got my Bulls cap on when I joined the Bulls when I came here. I think, a lot of money goes into our local game. A lot of sponsorship goes into our local game. And what we must be careful of is that we don't lose that sponsorship and that backing if all our best players are not on show to our public every weekend. So, yeah, I mean, we're getting there. But I would like to see in the next few years that more and more senior seasoned professionals and internationals come back and play in our country.
And just a quick one, a last one, if I can, Lunga. In terms of that holistic approach, we've got players like Devon Williams. We saw on the other game across the Jukse, we saw Siam Masuku, who've come from the smaller unions, so to speak. Is the Currie Cup doing well for that in terms of putting players like that across to big teams like the Bulls and bring them forward? What do you think we can do? Another competition, or how do we improve the Currie Cup?
Look, I'm sure that, I mean, our junior rugby is as strong as any junior rugby in the world. I mean, our schools are the strongest in the world. And so we're always going to produce many, many talented rugby players. And, I'm thankful that we've got so many provinces where those boys can play. I mean, you've got a guy like, Devon, who's at the Pumas. He's a Paul Boys guy. He's played in a big school. He's won a Currie Cup with the Pumas. But there's no doubt that he's playing really well in and amongst really good players as well now. And the domino effect and the sort of spin-off effect was if all the international players or all the great players come back, then what'll happen is we'll get stronger. Then guys that are with us will go down to the other provinces as well, and they'll get stronger, which means collectively all the teams in South Africa will be strong. So. You think about it. If 100 players came back from overseas and 25 went to each franchise, that means that there's 100 players that would have to go between Griquas, Free State, and Pumas. Now imagine just the depth that you would create in the country if you have, 7 really competitive teams, because those 25 players from each franchise would have to find a job with one of our other franchises. And that just shows, that'll make everything good. That'll make all our rugby competitive. That'll.
That's why I'm still drinking. But Liam, we were saying that coach's box after 20 minutes. I've just never seen this. 8 penalties, whatever it was, towards those first 20, 5 for foul play, like a high tackles or a penalty reversal. Balls popping out of sides, out of sides of breakdowns, kicks going directly out, charge downs. It was a car crash after car crash. So yeah, I would get solace of, that second half territory, and that's just would give me some sort of comfort.
Just on my side, one positive tonight, Warwick Galant.
Superb.
I just want to say, obviously, there was big criticism from the media, from the public. When we went on tour, people called him for him to get dropped. And we've seen that form now, 2022, when you guys actually won the URC. Are you satisfied with where Warwick is now at the moment? Because he was unbelievable today.
He was thrilled. It's been good last few weeks. Really chuffed for him. I thought the other problem with what we did didn't really lie with the outside backs. He was great, yeah.
I'm just going forward right now. How strong is that margin for the ranking competition?
No, it's what I said, the score's 40-22 hiding. And that's really tough to take. But as I said, if Evan got that ball down, I thought the momentum was us. And that's one of the beauties of rugby now. It's so small margin, small things at critical moments. Yeah. So what's the question again? I've lost track. It is small margins. But but you can't come to Loftus against a team as good as the Bulls and lose 5 lineouts and give away whatever the teens amount of penalties. And that's controllable by our side.
John mentioned small margins of errors. You look at the log now, Stormers are 7th. How much work now needs to be put in by the team and the players itself to ensure that at least you finish somewhere near the top 4? Because again, the trending theme is home playoff is probably everything in this tournament, and you'll know better than anyone else that the Storms have been the biggest beneficiaries of home playoffs in the past seasons, in the past 2 seasons of the URC.
I think at the moment after this game, I think we have to reflect on ourselves first. We're going to look at the log now and wish or hope where you want to end. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. I think we need to get back onto what we're doing, what we did. We didn't do it tonight, but we're doing good and great, and we didn't do it tonight. So I think at the moment we must look at ourselves and look at the next game. Next game is Edinburgh, the quality side as well, full of internationals as well. So to rectify what we did wrong tonight is the next main objective. I think if you start looking at the log and starting to think and plan what you want to achieve, you're not going to do it. So at the moment, a lot of self-perspective, if that's the word. I think that's a goal at the moment for personally from my side. The guys have to look at that.
Cool. We're going to take 5 questions online. Dylan Jack.
I think Nathan's got his hand up.
Okay, Dylan, going once, gone. Nathan.
Good evening, gentlemen. Dobbo, unlucky with that one. Just Dobbo, can you just give us your review, because you looked very distorted, and obviously we're looking here from the SuperSport screens. So you just give us a brief review of today's game after the wedding, of course.
No, I think they've summed it up well in the room here. We're looking distraught because of just so many uncharacteristic mistakes we made. The discipline really frustrated us. If you give away 7 or 8 penalties in a row at the start of the game, you're going to struggle to get into the game. So that and maybe some lineouts, like I suggested here, will really hurt us. But I think it's important to also give credit to the Bulls for creating such an occasion, for playing like they did, putting us under the pressure they did. It's not like there's penalties we thought, oh hell, the referee's got that wrong. They put us under pressure. So it was a good Bulls performance and a good occasion for South African rugby. I would like to have made it much closer. Got a bonus point
or two out of it. It's probably, but just it felt a bit, as Liam says, a bit uncharacteristic of us in terms of some of those areas. I would like the discipline and the line out. But well done to the Bulls for putting pressure on us and laying on such an occasion.
Ashfaq.
Thanks, Lunga. Hi, Deon. Hi, Dobbo. For both of you guys, it seemed like, in previous Bulls Stormers games, it was the Bulls were a bit over eager and making uncharacteristic errors, which they didn't do in other games, and you guys held the composure. And tonight it seemed like the other way around, where you guys were chasing it a bit more and were a bit more frantic. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, I think, like I said yesterday, a team that starts well in these type of games gets upper hand, and I think they put us under pressure from minute one. Our own fault, kickoff, knocked the ball, corner, a maul try, penalty, over 10 points. 10 points behind, it's not even 10 minutes gone in the game. So you're always playing catch-up rugby. And up in the IFL, it takes you that first 10 minutes just to get into it. It's not an excuse, but I think we were our worst enemies tonight in all aspects of the game. Clinically, small stuff, that's basic stuff. I think spoke about it in the change room. Small basic stuff that loses you games. What happened tonight.
And I guess Dobbo also with the conditions, it was probably a bit tricky to hold on to the ball and get through phases. But the few times you guys actually held on to the ball, you look good and really put him under pressure.
Yeah,
not at all. I think it wasn't slippery at all. I think a bit of rain before the game, but the ball was dry and stuff. Like I said, individual errors, cynical, almost want to call stupid. That's how I felt during the game. Stupid errors. It's against a quality Bull side that's on form now. If you do that, they're going to punish you, and that's exactly what happened tonight. And we just kept on playing catch-up rugby and trying to force stuff, and we didn't pitch to force that stuff. I don't know mentally what. Don't have the answers yet. Have to go watch the game.
Well, just one more for me, Dobbo. At 1915, the guys at least showed some real fighting spirit to get back into it. And like you said, if the try had gone Evans' way, it could have been a 4-point game.
Yeah, and I think we had the momentum there, like I say. I thought 1915 probably flattered us a little bit up where we were in the first half. But my word for that, sort of up until we had that sort of Steve, it was a Caden's try. Up until then, I thought we had them really, we were playing some nice stuff. And that gives me a lot of hope going forward. The Stormers' way, the way Marnie and Warwick were threading us through, it was good. So that gives me some hope for the future.
Cool. Thank you, Ashfaq.
Grant.
Just final question, Grant. Thanks.
Lunga, hardline guys on the loss tonight. Dobbo, how do you think Jason Bryden would sum up that game and looking forward just to the rest of the season?
The Jason Hater would say it was a complete dog show, bro. I can't say more than that. But we must be churlish not to just look at our own faults. The Bulls, they put us under a lot of pressure tonight. Deserve to win the game.
I think this one, Nathan, got one more last one.
Brandon, I just want to ask, did the delay affect you guys in any way in terms of preparation in the warm-ups and whatever?
It's not ideal, but no, you can't search for excuses. It's the same for the Bulls as well. It's part of nature, literally speaking. But no, not at all. I think we're professional enough, and no, not at all. Not for me.
Was the warm-up longer, or what happened when you guys heard the game was going to be delayed?
Probably a bit more tougher for me. I was warm after the first warm-up, and then you cool down, and then this all joints need to get going again. So, not too long. I think we managed it well. I think we went out again and did a quick warm-up again. I think that got the guys going. Probably not enough if you look at the first 10 minutes, but no, I don't think we can use that as an excuse at all.
Cool. Thank you, guys online. Mubin will go first, then Liam, Carl, and that should be the final question. Thank you.
Yeah, just Branas, something I also spoke about myself with Siri, the breakdowns. You've been brilliant the last 2.5 seasons, right? And Dobbo spoke about uncharacteristic things. We never saw any turnover from tonight.
I got one.
Did you?
I got one. Come on.
I mean, you've been so strong in that. Do you think just the Bulls did their homework in that?
No, not all. I think I couldn't get the opportunity. I think we made so many mistakes. They got penalties and it was a line-outs, and then there was no open plays. There was no opportunity to search for that for that steal. Yeah, that's what a bit frustrating for me. I didn't feel I got into the game because there was didn't play more than 6 phases. I feel that you can hunt for those opportunities. So it was a weird game in a way. That's why I have to go look at the game again. So that answers your questions.
Dobbo, when you get an emphatic derby result like this, win or lose, and you prepare for the next game, in this case, obviously, it's a foreign team, how difficult is it to put the derby?
I think we're a bit lucky now. It is issue, and it's done us damage. Like those two are done, it's definitely done us damage. But the alignment camp and having everybody, not having a match, a sort of league match this week, and having a nice trip for the guys who go on the trip, and then a week to get ready, 2 weeks to get ready for Edinburgh, it'd be fine. Yeah, and there are nuggets in this performance that sort of show who we are. So, yeah, if I say we're back in the saddle next week and the URC must win, I think we've been a bit more pressure than we are.
Deon, how difficult is it to captain a side, and W called it a horror show, and turn the things around on the field?
No, that's a frustrating thing. Spoke about it before the game, about mid-earth penalties. I joked to Dobbo after the game. I said he's not allowed to say that before a game anymore because I feel every time you say it, we do it. I think, but it's frustrating. That's why I say it's such a stupid penalties for me. I spoke to the guys afterwards. If you go look at the review, you don't want to hear sorry. Sorry, it's not going to help. It's about what you can do better and how you're going to rectify it and do better in the next game. So yeah, it's frustrating, especially as a captain, getting that message over and the ref is in your ear as well, because 8 penalties in a row, sometimes the ref has to pull a card. And I think we need to have a hard look at ourselves. I think we pitched up. I think the things will just happen again, like the 7 previous occasions, and not with this Bull side at the moment. They've grown, they're a better side, they're performing, and you have to do better. So,
are there any significant mistakes that you guys made that you could maybe improve on for the next game?
It's just individual, personal errors. I think our game plan has shown through the season it's working. It's just silly individual errors, losing the ball in contact, on the ground, offside. It's all the controllables, things you can control. And if you can't control that, then you probably have to start looking at other players.
Cool. Thank you so much, guys.
That's right, Bulls versus waiting.
That's the domestic quarter final.
Yeah?
First domestic quarter final.